Final list to be published on October 20. Now in details. The Islamic Chhatra Shibir has secured a sweeping victory in the Dhaka University Central Students' Union Dakshu election, winning 23 out of 28 polls in the Central Committee, including Vice President and General Secretary post. Muhammad Abu Sadiq Qaim was elected Vice President with 14,042 votes, defeating his nearest rival Bangladesh Chhatra Dal candidate Abidul Islam Khan, who polled 5,708 votes. Independent candidates Shamim Hossain and Umama Fatima received 3,883 and 3,389 votes respectively. Shibir leader S.M. Farhad clinched the General Secretary post with 10,794 votes. His closest competitor, Chhatra Dal's Tanveer Bari Hamim, secured 5,283 votes, followed by the Protirod Prashad, the Megh Mollar Boshu, with 4,949 votes, while independent candidate Arafat received 4,044 votes and Bakr polled 2,161 votes. This is the first time in Dakshu's history that Shibir openly contested with a full panel, which was formally announced on 18 August. And this is the first student union poll under the interim government and the first Dakshu polls within the participation of Bangladesh Chhatra League as they were banned. Meanwhile, Fatima Tasneem Zuma was elected to the post of Liberation War and Democratic Movement representative with 10,631 votes. Meanwhile, the newly elected Vice President of Dakshu, Sadiq Qaim, has said that everyone, regardless of their ideology, will work together. The newly elected VP, along with the General Secretary S.M. Farhad, addressed the media today during a press conference held at the Dhaka University Senate building after the Chief Returning Officer of the Dakshu polls announced the result. He also added, the expectations of the students are their expectations. They will build the campus into a dream campus. Sadiq also mentioned that those who contested the election alongside him will act as advisors, providing guidance during his tenure. He also stated that the July revolution began at Dhaka University and expressed hope that the future dreams of Bangladesh will be envisioned from the campus. Sadiq extended his condolences to a family of a journalist who lost his life while performing duties during the Dakshu polls. BNP Standing Committee member Salahuddin Ahmed today congratulated the winners of Dakshu elections. I congratulate those who have won in the election, as it is the rule of democracy. As the elections were held after a long break, there were some flaws, he also said while addressing the Jatiyotabadi Mohila Dal's 47th founding anniversary of Institute of Diploma Engineers, Bangladesh, in the capital. Referring to reports, Salahuddin said, it is being said that the Shibir-backed panel has won, but they contested under the banner of Oikobodho Shakoi Jot while Chhatra Dal took part under its own name. Still, I extend my congratulations to them. After the 2024 mass uprising, we have been working to change the political culture and promote new practices of democracy, patience and empathy. There may be competition, but at the end of the day, we must congratulate each other, he also added. The Election Commission on Wednesday disclosed the draft number of 42,618 polling stations for the 13th parliamentary election, raising the number by around 468 from what was in the 2024 national election. A total number of 42,618 polling stations were fixed, considering one station is for, on average, 300 voters, said EC Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed said, disclosing the draft number of the polling stations before reporter at Nirbachan Bhavan in the city. The list of the polling stations finalized on October 20 next for the upcoming general election planned to be held in early February 2026. He said the Election Commission will receive claim and complaints over the draft list of polling stations till September 25 and dispose of complaints by October 12 and finalize the list of October 20 next. The Jahangirnagar University Central Students' Union JAKSU elections will be held tomorrow, Thursday, with a voting schedule from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The campaigning in the Student Union election at Jahangirnagar University has already concluded. The administration has also taken various measures, including maintaining law and order to ensure that the elections are conducted smoothly. This is the first time marks the JAKSU election in 33 years. On the same day, election will be also held for 21-hall union of the university. According to information from the JAKSU Election Commission, 177 candidates are contesting for 25 JAKSU posts, with a total electorate of 11,897. Students are hoping that through these elections, a democratic atmosphere will be restored to the university and JAKSU will play an active role in safeguarding students' rights. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
Play pool and snooker in International Standard Billiard Zone. World-class gym facility with exclusive equipment for man and woman. A restaurant of delicious local and international cuisine. Fully air-conditioned building with spacious banquet, car lift, sky view rooftop restaurant, all in one. Grand Club Limited, Mirpur 10, Dhaka.
কি এমন জিনিস যেটা সব লোকে খায়, ছোটরা খেলে পরে কেঁদে মায়ের কাছে যায়, বৃদ্ধ লোক খেলে পরে মাথায় দেয় হাত, যুবক যুবতীরা খেলে পরে এদিক ওদিক তাকায়?
ছেড়ে দে শয়তান, ছেড়ে দে, দেহ পেলে আমার মন পাবি না, ছেড়ে দে।
কোন ফলের বীজ নেই বলো দেখি দাদা, বলতে না পারলে হবে তুমি গাধা।
মন্দিরা
SATV News. Now news from abroad. Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani said during a press conference on Tuesday that the mediation efforts are part of the Qatari identity and nothing would deter its role in this regard hours after Israel attacked Hamas leaders in Doha. Al Thani also added US officials first warned Qatar of the Israeli attack 10 minutes after the attack began, describing the attack as the terrorist Israel launched as airstrike against the leader of armed Hamas in Qatar on Tuesday, escalating its military action in the Middle East, and what the White House described as a unilateral attack that doesn't advance American and Israeli interest. The attack, which drew condemnation from key regional countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, risked the derailing Gaza ceasefire talks and President Donald Trump's push to achieve a negotiated and the nearly 2-year-old conflict between Israel and Hamas. Meanwhile, Hamas said 5 of the members had been killed in this attack, including the son of Hamas exiled Gaza chief and the top negotiator Khalil al-Hayna. However, Hamas political bureau member the Shuhail al-Hindi said that the group's top leader had survived in the Israeli attack. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said he was not thrilled about Israel's airstrike on Qatar, in which Israel attempted to kill the political leaders of Palestinian militant group of Hamas, adding that what he would give a full statement later in the same day. The US president said he was very much unhappy about the Israeli strike. "I'm not thrilled about it," Mr. Trump said as they arrived at a Washington restaurant. "It's not a good enough situation, but I will say this: we want the hostages back, but we are not thrilled about the way it went down." Earlier, Mr. Trump said that the decision to strike Qatar was made by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alone.
I will say this: we want the hostages back, but we are not thrilled about the way that went.
European Commission will propose sanctioning extremist Israeli militias and a partial suspension of European Union's association agreement with Israel targeting trade-related matters, said the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Wednesday. In a State of the Union speech to the European Parliament in the Strasbourg, von der Leyen also said that the Commission will put its bilateral support for Israel on hold without affecting work with Israeli civil society and Yad Vashem Israel Main, the Holocaust Memorial Center. The Commission had previously proposed curbing Israeli access to its flagship research funding program but failed to garner sufficient support from the EU member countries from the move. Von der Leyen said the Commission would now do what it can its own, and the Commission chief said the body will set up a Palestinian donor group in the next month, including an instrument for Gaza reconstruction. The head of the UN nuclear watchdog said on Wednesday that the new deal with Iran covers the inspection at all of the countries declared the nuclear site, including those hit by Israeli and US strike in June, in what he called a step in the right direction toward restoring safeguard. The National Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi told member states in the Vienna that its technical document signed in Cairo on Tuesday with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi set out procedure for inspection, notification and reporting obligations. This includes all facility and installations for the Iran. It also contemplates the required reporting on all attack facility, including the nuclear material present on those, Grossi said. Safeguard approaches to each facility will be received and reviewed at technical level, always in line with the right and obligation. Iran and agency under the NPT safeguard agreement, which are not modified or amended as a result of those practical steps, he also added.
International non-proliferation regime.
Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said on Wednesday that social platform X that the Polish airspace was violated by a huge number of Russian drones and some posed a direct threat. He also said Poland is at its closest to open conflict since the World War II. The citing an airport source, the Polish press agency said that the airspace over the Warsaw Chopin airport has reopened. Due to the restriction and closure of airspace, disruption and delay of the May last of all should be expected. Warsaw Airport said it added that passengers should check the current flight status on the airport website and obtain detailed the information directly from the carriers. At least 29 civilians were killed and 30 injured in Russian strike across Ukraine over the past 24 hours, said regional authorities on Wednesday. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 415 Shahed-type attack and decoy drone, 42 cruise missile, 1 Iskander and ballistic missile overnight. Air defenses intercepted 386 drone and 27 cruise missile, but 21 drone and 16 missiles stuck on the 17 location. 15 region come onto the attack. President Volodymyr Zelensky said the deadliest strike occurred in the Donetsk Oblast, where the 28 people were killed and 20 others injured, according to Governor Vadim Filensky. At least 25 were killed and 18 others injured in a frontline village of Yarova when Russian forces bombed residents waiting line to collect pensions. Protester on a roundabout in the southern French city of the Montpellier at Wednesday as a nationwide demonstration on Friday, and the disrupted traffic zones and dozens of people were arrested with security forces deployed across the country. Information about Wednesday blocked everything. Demonstrations surfaced on social media over the summer, drawing the comparison of 2018 Yellow Vest protest that initially sprang up over the fuel hike but morphed into a border movement against French President Emmanuel Macron and his plan for economic reform. Outgoing Interior Minister said 80,000 security forces have been deployed throughout the country, including 6,000 in Paris. French media had reported that 1 lakh people were expected to participate in the demonstration. Analysts believe the demonstration could add the French political turmoil 2 days after Parliament ousted Prime Minister Francois Bayrou in a confidence vote. Meanwhile, Sébastien Lecornu, the loyalist, picked the President Emmanuel Macron to be French 5th Prime Minister 2 years ago, took part of day strapping anti-government that underlined the depth of the country's political crisis. The Lecornu, a conservative Macron protest, and the prodigy who most recently served as the defense minister, arrived at Prime Minister residence at the media, where he met with the former Prime Minister Francois Bayrou, who was ousted by Parliament on Monday over the plan to trim the country's outsized deficit. Reactions on the Lecornu's appointment underscored the challenge he faces. Parties broadly agree on the need to slash French deficit, which reached 5.8% of total GDP in 2024, but not to and how to do it. Nepal's Army Chief General Ashok Raj Singhal on Tuesday called for anti-corruption demonstrations to halt the protest plans and engage the talks following Prime Minister KP Sharma's resignation. Singhal also sent his condolences to the families of protesters killed in the protest. Only resigned on Tuesday as anti-corruption demonstrations defied an indefinite curfew and clashed with police a day after 19 people died in violent protests triggered by a social media ban. Demonstrators entered the parliament complex on hearing the news and waving their hand in the air and shouting slogans as the smoke arose from sanction of the bill. Oli's government lifted the ban after protests intensified on Monday, with police firing tear gas and rubber bullets as protesters trying to storm parliament. Meanwhile, soldiers were seen today the rounding prisoner up who fled Kathmandu Delhi Bajar Jali after set on fire. Nepalese army personnel could be seen negotiating with the prisoner before they were escorted to a vehicle. US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday his administration is continuing negotiation to address trade barrier with India and that he would talk to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, raising hopes on a deal after weeks of discord. The US President also said they looked forward to seeking the Modi to the upcoming weeks and expressed optimism that they could finalize a trade deal. Narendra Modi reciprocated an optimism in a social media post on Wednesday, saying Washington and New Delhi are close friends and natural partners as well. He also said teams from both countries were working to conclude the trade discussion at the earliest. India Chief Economist Advisor his week warned that Trump's 50% tariff imposed on Indian export to the US could shave half a percentage point a table gross democratic product on this year. China's foreign ministry on Wednesday said it had lodged solemn presentations with Japan over the report of former Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen visiting the country, urging Tokyo to properly handle some relevant issues. China firmly opposed any Taiwan independence separatist visiting countries that have established diplomatic relationship with China under any pretext, said Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Xian during a new conference. Earlier on Tuesday, Taiwanese media reported that Tsai is visiting Japan on a personal trip. She served as Taiwan president from 2016 to 2024. Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. Islamic Chhatra Shibir secures landslide victory in Dakshu polls. Sadiq Khaim elected as VP, vows unity, pledges to build dream campus. BNP leader Salahuddin Ahmed congratulates Dakshu poll winners, said Chhatradol took part under its own name. EC unveils draft list of 42,618 polling stations for election, final list to be published on October 20. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.